Got no audio. Oh, but they can hear me.
Be on the soundboard?
We'll see. There it is. So this is what happens when I have too many things to go to look at. All right. Hey, I'm going to do that all again. Fuck. Welcome to Live on Two Wheels Season 2, Episode 26. Blah, 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 blah. This is a live motorcycle podcast that happens on the Chase on Two Wheels channel and on the Live on Two Wheels channel. If you're not subscribed, go there. That's where it lives in perpetuity after we're done here. That's also where we've been reading comments and stuff like that. So if you're catching it after the fact, you can go over there, watch that and all the other episodes, leave a comment there, like them. You may notice that Chase is not, and I love that color in that background, honestly.
Thanks. I tried to match my shirt.
Yeah, we got producer Trey. Hey, bud.
Hey.
Chase did a double dinger and went on 2 press events back to back. So he is
on low power mode.
Super low. He's on like airplane mode and low power mode.
But in his defense, he did some of the hardest riding that he's ever done. So he deserves like a night off.
I'm not going to spoil anything. You guys know we talked about it. He went to the MT10 launch. I don't know if we can we say? I think we can say it because it's not embargoed. It's the second one was not embargoed. So it was a Ducati Desert X. I believe we talked about that. So he went on that and was in some pretty hellish but beautiful landscape.
Yeah, watching back though, how he sent me the link to download all of his personal stuff, and it was like watching him catch air, and it was like, oh, we almost lost Chase like at least 5 times.
He did real good. And thankfully the cameras were rolling when he didn't. So we'll be getting those together. We got the video coming out of the MT10. We wish him a good rest, and we'll see him next week on Live on Two Wheels. It is also a podcast if you don't want to look at us. So you can download all your favorite podcast apps.
And leave us a rating.
Yeah. I think Apple Podcasts is the only one that you can like leave a review. We love reading those. But Spotify, Google Podcasts. And there's an Android thing. Nobody does that one, so don't worry about it. Trey, what are we talking about today?
We're talking about traveling and how we pack up and go on 2 wheels.
It's an interesting topic because we have a trip coming up in two weeks now.
Yeah.
I've been counting. So both
Bo
of us
is in need of serious need of vacation.
Dude.
This is much.
This is the first time
catharsis.
I'm going anywhere without having to film for it, and I'm very excited about that. So, a Desert S, Chase is in the chat, guys. Yeah. So no embargo. Also, yes, he's watching. Yeah, so we're going to SmartCon. SmartCon is coming up, 26th. Ghost can put links to like anything in the chat for us. That'd be awesome, dude. Very excited because it's a non-work related trip, and I haven't had one of those in almost 3 years. So I am overexcited, much to the dismay of my wife, who has been seeing me pack and unpack and plan and unplanned or rework plans now for like a week and a half. Because if you don't know this about me, I am super notorious for 2 things when it comes to trips: overpacking and forgetting something really, really, really important. So we're going to go through all of that. Do we have a review on an Apple podcast there, Ghost?
Nope, we don't.
No, I didn't see any new ones either. So, I mean...
It just means we have more Android listeners.
No, it just means that you guys need to go over to Apple Podcasts and leave us a review.
I think it just means there's more of us than there is of you all.
All right, so the next couple of steps are going to be really dicey because my setup is super jank. But we're gonna talk about Discord. We have a Discord, and in that Discord is a whole section for Live on Two Wheels, and we have. Let me see if I can. I'm gonna fuck this up. Let's see if I can do it.
You got this. I believe in you.
No.
Yeah.
And
that me sitting over across the room is like the podcast is not quiet on like any day, but that's definitely the loudest point from you guys just laughing and howling at all the craziness going on.
Oh, the audio went because I'm dumb?
What? I don't appreciate you talking bad about yourself, though.
No.
That's not the kind of environment we have.
All right, so here's the problem. It shows up as audio's coming through when I go to the thing. See, the only thing we're missing is a computer plugged into this, which means I have to remove Chase from the equation. I have to make sure all of it works on just my system, because when he leaves, there's like 17 plugs over there, and when they're not plugged in, nothing works. So guess what? We're just going to talk about Discord, and I'm not going to show you. Go over to Discord. There'll be a link in the description. We have a Live on Two Wheels section in there, and in that, at the top, you can hit the little hash mark. It'll show you the threads. There'll be one for Season 2, Episode 26. Leave your memes in there. Last 5 minutes, we like to go through the show. And then I fucking kissed your ass a little bit, you guys, about Discord and how awesome you are, but you didn't hear it, so tough shit. I think we're going to run through that. That's it. All right. So, Moto, we can't do the Moto shout-out because the Discord thing doesn't work. Sorry. So sorry. I can't tell what it is. It's Yontos. It's Yontos. He's got the MT-09 SP. Go into the Discord and Moto Photo, post up photos there. Chase likes to go there and look. I love seeing that, and I love seeing Yonto. I love seeing that SP. One of my top 5 bikes in the studio.
Just seeing the CP3 platform out in the wild,
yeah,
it does me good.
Yeah. Got to see it. We went to Moto America. He stopped by for a little bit. That was super awesome. So. I'm fixing this so that this doesn't happen again. All right. Boom. Okay. Go. All right. Ghost tip of the week. I'm going to attempt to bring it up here in the browser so that you guys can still hear me. There we go. I'm also on a touchscreen, so apologies. All right, Ghost tip of the week. Follow Ghost on Instagram, Ghost on Two Wheels. Don't fart in an Apple store. Remember, they don't have windows. I hate how much I like that.
Poops and farts.
Touche.
Shitted and
Touche.
farted. It's that's good. That's good. I like that. I also like that I don't have. I think I enjoy them more when Chase isn't here because he enjoys them so much, and I can't really enjoy them because he takes it to a different level.
I mean, but that's normal. There's like it's just somebody's gonna enjoy it way too much, and it's just no, bring it back. 2 levels too far.
So I'm looking at this. I'm gonna try this again, but not with the Discord. We don't know if this is gonna work. Again,
It's gonna work. You gotta have faith.
no. My goodness. Sorry about the brightness of everything. That's just that's a Windows PC. We stream off of Windows PC. Like, we work off Macs, but there is no dark mode on this thing. So, all right. So we're gonna do the quick shifter real quick. And if you don't know what this is one of Chase's favorites because he gets a time limit on how to respond. We go through some news. Ghost puts this together. It's pretty cool. And we have like 30 seconds to go through it so we don't like battle on. I'm also hammering the network right now, so hopefully it comes through, buds. It tanked. Okay. Oh, cool. Can-Am unveils the Origin and Pulse, 2 of their new upcoming electric motorcycle offerings. One of them's an ADV bike. I already know that without looking at it. Yep, I saw this. I mean, cool. But electric ADV, we don't have the battery technology, personally, for it to be viable.
Can you imagine being stuck out on trail and you just got the blinky? It's like, sorry.
Let me pull out my 17 feet of solar panels so I can get down this damn mountain.
It worked for Wally, so why not for KTM?
No, that's not. I mean, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. Yeah, I know. They're like the frame's just like I'm hammering our network right now. All right, the Italian Carabinieri, sure, is using the Yamaha Tracer 9 as a base for their police cruisers.
I mean, it's not bad. I can understand the thought process behind it. It's just not my first choice as a police cruiser.
Yeah, it's weird.
Although that would be menacing coming up behind you. I would definitely pull over first thing.
Yeah, I don't know. The more I look at the Tracer 9, the less I like the way it looks.
Well, you've also looked at it for a long time.
It wasn't true. We were at it in the shop for a while.
And to its credit, it's a good bike. It's just we've seen it for a long time, and it's not.
30 seconds up. Kawasaki is gearing up to introduce the ZX4R Super Sport bike in 2023, likely coming to the U.S. as well. More competition in the juniors class.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, I like the 400s.
But this is a low displacement 4-cylinder, so this is going to scream like crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they are still running the 3 in juniors, I think, and then against the RC 390s and R3s and stuff like that. It'd be nice for an upgrade. Yeah. Kawasaki showcases prototypes of the electric and hybrid electric at Japan's Suzuka circuit. I almost said Suzuki. Okay. Not so sure on the top one, but that bottom one looks fire.
Sorry, waiting for my video to catch up.
I just think...
Wait, so you don't like the fully faired? You like the naked version?
No, I like the faired. I don't like the
okay.
Again, there's a lot of focus, like we talked about on last episode, about performance and all that stuff, but we're not at the battery technology for it to be taken seriously.
But we'll be here before you know it. Ghost, do you record these sounds yourself, or did you rip these from?
No, that's his voice. I can tell. That's absolutely 100% him making noises.
I love the dedication.
What? Audio clip taken out of context.
I love this. Is it? Oh Lord! He's literally. Why with the tongue? What are you doing?
I'm not gonna try to drip this shit all over me.
No, you could have. Hey, there were so many other ways you could have done that, but you're like this.
That was not a show I was prepared.
It did not look like that.
100%.
I'm sitting over here just minding my own business, and y'all over here.
I like that he put out of context.
Yeah.
The boys in Discord gonna get it. That's
I've
great.
been away, guys. I forgot. Yeah. Okay. Well, fuck
you
me.
can't fuck around with these guys.
All right. Well, I can't wait to see what the end of the show looks like.
They are quick with it too. Go home, Raj. No, Chase is not sick. Chase is old and tired, and he pushed himself too hard by doing a double hitter with some press fits. So it's just us. He's in the chat though, so if you want to say hi there. All right. I think that's it for that. I think the last thing that we need to do here before we get into the subject is a little housekeeping. I want the full clip, but I just don't know how I feel about it at the end of it. Housekeeping is I am neck deep in Insta 360 footage for the event that Chase just went to. And
you guys, if you could be in my position hearing Bo all day, it's like there's nothing I can do except for just...
We just have to live in my hell. That's it. That's all it is.
More in the computer.
It's a lot. It's gonna be awesome. We're excited when the embargo lifts to show you what we got. We just got done dumping the Desert X footage. Saw some sneaky peekies from their media team. Our baby bird done flew a couple of times, which was nice. Like literally,
baby bird?
Like he literally flew.
Yeah, he did fly.
He literally flew. So other than that, that's pretty much it. It's been pretty quiet, aside from my bitching and moaning for the last 10 2 weeks basically because
Which is well warranted.
Chase has been gone, so I'll be glad when he's back. So we'll just say that. So other than that, it has been really, my brain has been occupied with the trip we have coming up. We're going to Nashville. We're going to SmortCon, which is just awesome that became a thing. By the way, I just want to put that out there. I am a huge community kind of guy. I'm very focused on it. I am super excited to go to this because it literally was born out of the community. I think that's awesome.
I'm just excited to put faces to names.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be calling people by like their username, and it's like, you have an actual name. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's that's the other thing is like getting like we talk to these people all the time through Live on Two Wheels, through the Discord, and getting to meet them. We're going to ride up as a group. There's going to be a couple of us riding up. We're going to meet a few on the way, make a few stops. It's going to be a lot of fun. And then as soon as that was put into motion and I marked it off on the calendar, I've been obsessively trying to figure out the appropriate way to pack the Tiger for this trip.
Which is interesting because we're going to have two separate experiences. I think that'll show in today when we start talking about how we're packing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, because I'm trying to, like, what I'm honestly trying to do is not bring my tail bag. That's my goal.
I look back like the bike is behind me.
No, it's right over there. Yeah, she's sitting over there somewhere. She's got her... Everything's in there right now, by the way, that I'll be bringing. Sans clothes and the Bucky's onesie.
But you don't want to bring your tail bag, but why is that?
Okay, so here's the thing. When you're going... when you're setting up a trip, this is true for nearly every kind of trip that I have done. Whether it is going on to a press event, going on vacation, in a car, on a motorcycle, whatever. The appropriate way to attack any packing is to start off with what you want to bring and then just start taking shit off until you're left with what you absolutely need.
Yeah.
My problem is that if I have the space, I will fill it. Like, absolutely fill it and not have a reason for it whatsoever. I used to carry around a 40-pound backpack with all of my camera gear. I used 2 things out of it.
And is that for all trips? Because this is like a medium trip. I wouldn't say it's a short trip. I wouldn't say it's like you're going like all the way out to the Pacific.
I think it was like 4 or 5 hours or something. Yeah. We're going to be on it. It doesn't change. It doesn't change. I'm a notorious overpacker.
And see, that's different because like for me, I feel like I start off with what I need, and then like throughout the day when I'm packing, I'll continue to add more and more things, and then I'll have to start pulling things back out. Like, no, I don't need this. Why do I need... I don't know, a Keurig. I don't need a Keurig. No,
I'm the opposite. Like, I will start packing like, I need the Keurig. And it's like, no, you idiot. You don't need the Keurig. So my goal with this was to fit everything in the side bags. I don't know. We haven't done any. The only thing people have seen, aside from, I think the production video is the only one that's going out. But I've got a set of bags that we're going to be doing a video on, and it's roughly about 54 liters of space. And my tank bag's like, I don't know, 18 liters. And I'm like, why? I removed that because you saw I had it on the other day.
Yeah.
I was like, nope. I took all that shit out. And I was like, all right, what can I fit in here? So I'm trying to force myself to be a more efficient and judicious packer.
And this is only for a 3-day trip, right?
Yeah, 3-day trip.
Okay.
But yeah. So like originally I was like, okay, I need these. I need a couple pair of pants. I'm bringing undies. I'm bringing my short shorts. I'm bringing my Bucky's onesie. I'm bringing my slip-on.
Could you please tell everyone what you call your short shorts?
I used to have a pair of just blue jeans. And I got giant holes in the knees, so then I cut them up really high, and they're my Lieutenant Dangle shorts. So when we were at South,
I just love the name. I had to share that with everybody.
So I went when we were up in South Dakota, which is a good example of how I like to pack like over efficiently. Like we crammed 2 people's gear in that one gear bag. And then it was just like, okay, bare minimum on what else to bring. But yeah, I would get off the bike. I'd take off all of what I was wearing, and I'd put my Lieutenant Dangle shorts on. And then that's what I was hanging out with. It's like, I don't know if nobody here has seen my legs except for you guys. So nobody on stream has seen my legs. You think this face is bad in this? Like, I'm pale, like super pale. I've been wearing jeans, and I don't wear shorts. I stopped wearing shorts like 9 years ago. I'm wearing jeans so much I have a bald spot on my shin, like where my jeans rub up against it. So it's like, yes, you heard me right for the name of those shorts. It's the Lieutenant Dangle shorts. My Days Dukes. Yes.
The Hoochie Daddy shorts.
So in preparation for this, I went through, and I'm going to be doing something that's unnecessary, but I'm doing it as a trial run, which is a little different than what everybody else is doing, because I'm bringing my tent.
Oh, that's right, because you're staying out back.
Yeah.
And it wasn't. No, I just want everybody to know that we did not kick Bo out.
No.
We did not offer him anything less.
Yeah.
He chose to be out back in his tent.
I'll come in for showers and food.
And potty breaks.
Maybe.
I'm waiting for the.
Maybe. I'm doing that because it's like, in my future, I would like to do more like camping and like actual moto camping, going out, riding somewhere, and then camping for the night, riding back, that kind of thing. Couple day trip, things like that. And so I figured one thing I remember growing up was, if you buy new equipment, try it out first, get used to it so you know how it gets put together and how it packs down and all that stuff. So I'm using this as a trial run. So not only is it going to be a 5-ish hour trip, but I also had to bring a tent and a sleep system and blah, blah, blah. I'm not going like crazy. I'm not like bringing a fucking jet boil, and I'm not bringing a camping chair and all that stuff. I don't have a machete or anything like that. It's very minimal. I'm bringing a sleeping pad, a sheet, my pillow, and the tent, just to try it out. So that was the requirement. That's where I started from.
I think the only thing like less budget, or I go more budget friendly, would be to have a hammock and just a rain fly and call it a day.
So I thought about hammocks, but I'm like, there's a lot of places, a lot of campgrounds don't allow you to put up hammocks because of damaged trees and shit. So I was like, fuck it, tent. When I went to REI and met with Miranda from Miranda in the Wild, I picked up a tent and a sleeping pad there, and a pillow. So I was like, that's my goal, because I was talking to her, and it's like, there's a lot of places that don't allow you to put up a hammock because the wiring, all the cord can hurt the trees and shit like that, which I guess makes sense. And some places don't care, some places do. So
that's just surprising for me, because it's like the ones that we've stayed at, we've had more issues, people asking about what breed dog we have than us. We're like, oh, you got a hammock? Sorry, you got to go.
You can nail a bed to this tree. We don't care, but please don't bring a pit bull in here. That's ridiculous. Okay, so then we start with the most obvious thing, which is aside from, I think we should tackle this as like, this is just a moto trip, like you're touring. Are we defining touring by also sleeping, like we stay the night somewhere and then continue the tour, or is this a one-day tour? Let's define what we're trying to the setup that we're trying to build.
You and I? Sorry,
Yes.
I was answering.
No,
somebody said I should be an R&B singer, and
you zoned the actual fuck out. All right, so let's define it. Are we considering motorcycle touring like the full 9, right? You go, you stay somewhere, you go some more, rinse, repeat for however many days. Is that what we're defining as motorcycle touring?
Sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So in that case, then yeah, we can include like sleeping arrangements, because some people will be going to hotels and some people will be. Does
that further define it though, or do we need to further define it? Because I'm sure there's some people who's like, you're not actually camping unless you're out there, like at a campground.
All right,
you go to a bathhouse.
Don't gatekeep camping, because like literally you can do it anywhere. Okay. So I'm gonna run this as if we are going to stay the night somewhere.
Yes.
Okay. So when you start packing, I think the first place to start, at least for me, is how long you're going to be away. right? Is this a day trip? Are we going to Blood Mountain? Are we, staying at a cabin? Are we staying overnight? Is it going to be multi-day? Are you going to be gone for a couple weeks? Because you don't want to underpack and then you're out in the middle of nowhere and you need something, right?
Yeah.
So you define how long it's going to be, and that's why I decided to get rid of the tail bag. It's like it's a 3-day trip. I at most only need 3 pairs of underwear and 2 pairs of socks to make this a successful trip. That's the only checkbox is like, please don't wear the same undies more than one day. That's where I started.
Okay.
So 3-day trip, that's all I needed.
Yeah.
Okay. So out goes the tail bag. We then talk about like where we staying. So everybody else is going to be in the Airbnb, right?
Yes.
I decided, because I'm a glutton for punishment, that I was going to test out my tent that weekend. So now I have to pack that. I have to pack a sleeping bag if it's going to be cool. You know me, I run hot, so I brought an sheet.
I was going to say a sheet.
Yeah, and sheet. And that's it. So I've got my tent. So like when I watch a lot of these these solo moto campers and all this stuff, like As the Magpie Flies and things like that, I look at their kits. Their kits are appropriate for somebody who's going to be traveling long distances. So like the longer you go, it's like, okay, what are we doing for food? It's, well, we're going to be in a city, so I ain't worried about food, so I don't have to bring that. But then you might be like, well, I'm going to go camping in the woods. I'm trying to plan a trip up to North Georgia mountains for the portion of the Georgia Traverse. I'm going to need something to eat, so I can either stop and get it or bring it with me. So then you start adding on to the kit. You add on to the kit, and it goes into the resources. Hotel versus camping. It's kind of a hotel. It's kind of also camping.
Yeah.
I'm going to be camping. Washing clothes. Some people care about it. I am a dirt bag of a human being. Here's the thing. My wife, she's an amazing person. I don't know why she puts up with me. She's like, you washed your clothes, right? Like I pulled them out of the dryer. They still smell bad. I'm like, yeah. I don't know what she does. Do you use the little beads that go into like the fabric softener and the dryer beads and stuff? I was like, no, I don't use that. So she went and bought some detergent with the stuff already in it, like the OxyClean, to the point now where like I am so aware of the smell coming off of my clothes right now. I'm so used to the horrible smell that this is alarming now. So I live in filth. I'm a horrible, gross, sweaty, gross human being. So like I'm not worried about washing clothes or anything like that. Food, things like that, that's more important to me. Eating. Like eating and sleeping comfortably are the only like I'm seriously contemplating getting a small like battery powered fan for the tent, because I can't sleep when it's hot. I'm actually now realizing that I am horrible at camping. Like actually saying it out loud.
I mean, it's like the people that say they like hiking because it's like, yeah, we'll get outside, we'll get some good pictures, we'll stop for coffee, and then it's just like, but you're in nature. There are bugs. You're gonna see at least one bear.
Here's the thing. I know exactly what you're talking about, because when I was talking to Miranda and her team, I got real excited. I was like, man, I should start hiking. Like that, like backpacking, like, kind of marry the two and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, and I got home and I started thinking about it and I started watching videos, and then I stopped with it. I said, what the fuck am I doing? Hey, there is no way in hell that I'm like walking a mile. I just want to put that out. That is too far to walk. You're signing up to walk a mile.
But just like hiking, like if you take it back to moto camping, it's one of those things where it's like if you continue to think about the process before you actually get in that situation, you're going to talk yourself out of it. Because like you don't want to ride in rain.
That's my brain telling my body to shut the fuck up. Is what that is. It's my brain's going like no.
But when your brain tells your body to shut the fuck up, then you end up having a great time. Because like every time I've ridden in the rain, it's like you rue that day or that
I
moment
hate it.
all the way till it starts. And
I
then
hate
once
it.
you're already like soaking wet, it's like, well, you know what? This isn't that bad. It's
No,
like,
it's bad
I'm
every
just
time.
in the moment.
Yeah, fucking swamp foot, and your hands get all wrinkly, and then they start rubbing on the inside of your glove, and then you get crotch water, and that's the worst feeling in
I
the
mean,
world.
I'm just saying, the day I rode up to the dragon and it was cold and wet, it was still fun in the moment. Thinking back, like getting back to the camper and shivering for an hour.
Sorry, I just appeared at the comments that hiking is a walk that sucks.
I mean, you're not.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it. Like, that's how I feel about it. So I was like, and I felt that, like, you were here for the conversation. Were you here for the conversation earlier when we were talking about revisiting Chase's idea of riding 12 hours of ADV?
Yeah, I was here. I was paying attention.
So it's like, when he first said that, I was like, my body and my brain just went like, boom. Like, oh, bud, that sounds awful. Don't do that. I've ridden 12 hours in a day on road.
I mean, if we were taking our time, we could definitely do it.
I was a younger man then, and it sucked.
You know,
I was wrecked for a couple of days.
I got to remember that there is a bit of an age gap. I'm the youngest guy in the shop, so.
You were literally, I'm definitely old enough to be your dad.
No, you're old enough to be my uncle, not my dad.
I want to know, let's pause for a second. I want to know what the distinction is, because that's your dad's brother.
Okay, time out. We'll do this one aside, and then we got to get back on topic.
How old are you?
I'm 28. And you
I'm
are what,
40?
40? So there's 12 years, no. 20.
I'm old
22 years.
enough to be your dad.
No, 18. Wow,
Yeah.
I am terrible with math.
That hurt my heart.
You are old enough to, yeah, wow.
I'm old enough to be your dad after high school.
You were in high school when I was just in the NICU, the newborn part of the hospital. Wow.
Yeah, so okay, we'll get back on topic. But I just thought that I look at those things and I'm like, I
just want to say I apologize. You were right, Bo. I want to acknowledge that you were right. But
I don't
continue.
care about being right. The idea is cool, right? Of camping and stuff like that, and that's not all that motorcycle touring is about. Like, there's loads of people that do the BDR, like the Mabder.
Yeah.
For those of you who don't know, the BDR, Backcountry Discovery Routes, there's one that goes from Virginia to Pennsylvania, New York line. And there's lodging all the way through that. So there are people who will go through that and just stay at, like, hotels and hostels and stuff like that. So it doesn't have to be camping. And that's one of the things that you have to take into consideration when you are packing. Like I said, I've got both of the soft bags. One of them is like half full of camping gear. But if we were gonna be, if I wasn't being an idiot and I wasn't doing like the 10-year-old sleepover thing and camping out in the backyard, then I would have that whole side free to overpack and over prepare. Like the other side, the smaller side on my panniers, because one side I have an offset bag, so I've got 32 liters on one side, 22 on the other. That one has my tool roll, a tire patch kit.
Essentials.
Right. I think if you're going to be anywhere at any like extended amount of time, then you should always have a tire repair kit and at least the basic tool sets like that you need for your bike. Like you set up like Revzilla, they sell there's a couple, I can't remember the name of the company that makes it, but you can find a Triumph tool roll, and it has all the basic things that you'll need for a Triumph, because the one that comes with most motorcycles is a garbage. It's just like 4 cast pieces of equipment that can remove like 4 things. So you get like just the tools that you need to take off like most of the bolts that you would need to take off, but whether it's fairings and stuff like that, some zip ties and stuff. I've got a big tool roll. I think we have a couple of them here, and it's one of those that like it rolls out to like 2 feet long.
Is it Cruise Tools or
something like that. And then we've got the Bike Master tire repair kit. Those I think are the essentials, like for any trip.
Yeah.
Always keep those on you.
Keep that thing on you.
That is another tool that you could, if you're so inclined, to keep on you. The other thing, and this is going to sound weird, I learned this riding with somebody of mine. They were in the MC here in Atlanta, and one of them always carried super glue and tampons with them.
You have my attention.
Yeah. So both of those have their origins in treating wounds.
Oh.
So tampons for bullet hole puncture wounds. They were originally on the battlefield for bullet holes.
And super glue to close it.
And super glue to close cuts and things like that. And
Gotcha.
open wounds.
Yeah.
So he'd always carry those with him.
Hey.
What I would suggest is maybe get a trauma kit and a basic first aid kit and keep that with you.
You know, weird enough that we were talking about this while I was at the I was at a press launch. Don't want to say which. But somebody there carries a tourniquet. Mm-hmm. Because they just live in a rough area, and it was just like, what? And I just never.
I mean, it can always help, right?
It just never crossed my mind.
Yeah.
But if that plus a full first aid kit, where it's just like, yeah, that's if you're riding and you're with a group of people, like you can't go wrong carrying.
We've had to use them several times in those cases, and there was one where a guy we were riding with, him and his brother or cousin were riding in front of us, and we were riding in back. And they were on sport bikes. We were on cruisers. They were ahead of us just by a little bit. They weren't speeding, like they were riding a normal pace. It was just crappy road surface, washed out, low-sided into a guardrail, where the bike flipped over the guardrail and sent him flying down Blood Mountain. And he landed, I'd say, 10, 15 yards down onto a tree. That's what kept him from traveling back down to Helen. So he was like, we got him out of the ditch. They treated his wounds and whatnot. We got the emergency services up there and whatnot. But like, we've had to use it several times. So med kit is really important. Those basic med kits are good for like, little scratches and stuff like that. But especially if you're going to be on a group ride with a couple people, somebody should have a trauma kit.
I've been eyeing one.
Yeah.
I just haven't it's like
Trauma kits are invaluable, especially because like only one person needs to carry it, right? Because hopefully you won't need it more than once.
Yeah.
And most of those things come with multiples of those, but like a tourniquet and things like that, it's good to have.
Yes.
Because that's the last thing you want. Now, like touring on the streets, like on paved roads, you have the benefit of having easy access to emergency services and stuff like that. Even if it may take a little bit longer than it would inside of a city, they still don't have to travel through any off-road conditions. Adventure touring, you have, I'd say that's a must. If you're going to be off-road at all, in some remote places, trauma kit, tire repair kit, and even if you have tubeless tires, get a tube that will fit. Like for instance, I have an 18 and a 21 inch tire, so I don't want to carry two tubes. I can carry a 19 that'll fit inside the tire in the back, and a couple of tire tools, because if you get a sidewall gash or something like that you can't plug, you can at least put the tube in there and inflate it enough to get you down the road until you can get it repaired and stuff like. So those are like some like absolute essentials. Everything else kind of is a case by case, right? Mm-hmm. Like it's also the vehicle itself, like what bike you're taking. Your bike that you'll be taking up to SmortCon.
Yes.
It's got small hard bags.
And I will be putting some things like my rain gear. I'll definitely be putting that. So like I'm doing the opposite of Bo, where my girlfriend, who I love very much, will be following up with the dogs in the truck. So besides having like my rain gear on me, I'll probably have water so I don't have to like bother her to like pull over and also stop the group. But speaking of the truck loadout, I will definitely have my ramps in the back because like I don't like being stranded. I got stranded once after work one day, and what was it? I think it was State Farm or AAA. No, it was AAA, because come to find out they didn't cover motorcycles on the plan. But they were telling me,
that's right.
Do you have a good spare with you?
What? Who cares? What? what the fuck do you think this is?
And I was like, my best customer service voice. It was just, ma'am, I don't have a good spare with me. I left it back at the garage. I do keep one, but I just not for this situation. I was, it was raining too. It was just a bad
World
day
War
in the
II,
world
we
of
just keep a
train.
whole spare wheel on the back of our
Right?
bike.
I ride a Harley Liberator, if you didn't know.
That's ridiculous.
So I went the opposite route, and like another reason why I traded in the Mustang to get a truck was because it was like getting somebody out to where I needed to be picked up at. It was like, and I was in the middle of a city, and nobody would come pick me up. So it was just like, I'm not doing that again. So
Well, I just had this thought because I don't think we've ever talked about this, but like we've had a couple of bikes in the shop that have had luggage.
Yeah,
and I'd say there is a middle ground of feeling kind of meh about the luggage situations, and also feeling the utility of them. So where do you land on like actual motorcycle luggage or just carrying a backpack?
it depends. If I have access to more than one bike, I would prefer to have a bike without luggage as my personal, and then like the one that I have access to, I would prefer to have some type of luggage with it. Just because it's a visual thing. I'm a very visual, I'm an artist, so I like the way things that look. But I also see the utility of it. Like the ST, I can't imagine having that without the bags.
I think it would look funny.
It would look funny, but also it's nice being able to not have a backpack on and just throw something in the side bags. Like I went to Walmart the other day before work to go get food, and it was just like, I don't have to figure out how to like cobble this together. I can just go.
I feel like I'm done with carrying all my shit in a backpack now. And after having gone through that for so many years and carrying literally everything in a backpack, that I was just like, as soon as I got luggage, I'm like, oh, fucking sayonara. This backpack is for water.
This might be just another like age thing when I get to that next part of life.
What are you trying to say, Trey?
I'm saying you old.
You say this is your old shitty back.
I'm saying my back doesn't hurt just yet.
So like those kind of things where I'm looking in the chat, like top case all the time.
Bo said run it. Oh, we got to run the ad.
Run the ad.
Got to take a.
Already? All right. Well, we'll get to it. I'm going to try not to break it. We're going to go to an ad real quick, and then we'll be right back.
Yeah.
What's going on, guys? This episode of Live on Two Wheels is brought to you by Revzilla's RPM membership. What that is basically a membership program that only costs $60 a year, not a month, but a year, and you get a ton of rewards from it. It's kind of like Amazon Prime for Revzilla. So if you're buying a lot of motorcycle gear, especially on Revzilla, this could be really interesting for you. Check out all of the things you get for this. So you're going to get free 2-day shipping and returns. You're going to get 10% off exclusive brands. You're going to get 5% cash back, period. Also, for you first-time members, you're going to get $15 in cash back from the moment you get this membership. It's also going to include early access to sales and phone lines and exclusive events. So if you're somebody that buys a ton of gear and could find a lot of value in this RPM thing, by all means, we'll have a link for you down in the description below. Thank you guys for supporting the show by going to that link. And thank you, Revzilla, for sponsoring this episode.
RPM membership also applies to Cycle Gear and J&P Cycles. There, I updated the ad.
We'll see you guys with the rest of the show.
Just because the ad just got finished running, does the RPM program come with a Rever subscription?
I believe it does.
Ooh.
Yes.
I believe it does.
That might be a good Christmas gift, y'all.
Dude, we got to put Rever through its paces up there in South Dakota, and there's a few minor things, but it worked really well. That's another good point. Is like packing for me isn't just about like what goes in my bags, but like also the tools that I'll need to actually take the trip.
Do you change your music? I know this is off topic. We don't have this.
I listen to the same music 100% of the time.
Serious?
99% of the time. I will either... Okay.
So you won't hear a new band and add it into your playlist?
Nope.
Or you might just...
Nope.
Or a podcast?
Nope. Okay, here's what I listen to. Here's what I listen to in no particular order. Music is really important for a trip. Earplugs in. The loops... Which I know sounds like being a shill because we did, we had a sponsor deal with them. They're amazing, and I can't live without them. I use them to sleep with the little foam inserts. But here's what you do. Earplugs in, Cardo, all the way up, and I'm either playing fusion jazz, progressive metal,
I just said something about you being old.
or
man.
drum and bass. That's it. I don't care about anything else. It is fusion jazz, progressive metal, drum and bass. The end. Every once in a while, I'll listen to what my older brother would call Cookie Monster rock, which is it's death metal.
That's, you know what, Bo, I don't think we could be more different in that. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, like, I think I listen to things that get close to that, and you'll probably rag on me, but like Pierce the Veil or like Chiodos is about as close as I'll get.
I listen to some pretty out there stuff. You've heard a little bit of my shit.
Yeah.
And like, to me, that's relaxing. So on this trip, so the good news is everybody, good news, everybody. I think everybody's going to have a cardo on.
Oh
there.
yeah.
And then I will have my GPS, and then I will also be recording my trip on Rever. Because you can record trips. Like if you're on there and you find me, I have one of my trips saved from when we went up to South Dakota, and I think it was like the Deadwood route. I think we did.
Okay.
Or no, it was either the Deadwood route or the Galena Gap loop that we did, which you guys will see videos coming out on that pretty soon. But you can record your trips and then save it to your profile so other people can see it and try it out. So I'm going to be doing that.
You know, I'll have to utilize that feature more because I'm the kind of person where like I'll take this road and I'll take that road and then I won't know where I am. So I'll like open up the map and it's like
you can do a track back with it. You can do a track back with it, which is that's another thing to think about when you're going on these trips, like finding cool roads to go to, like as a group if you're going up with a group of people. And like we'll all be in communication.
Yeah.
So I Ghost, do you have your cardo yet?
Negative.
All right, we'll talk to Chase on that one. I think we got a spare sitting around the shop. If not, I've got my cardo black sitting in here something too. We'll figure it out. But I think everybody's gonna be on cardo, so we all be able to communicate.
Yeah, I'm even bringing my headset for Andrea in the car because like I don't want her to feel like she's left out.
The last time that we put a young lady into a cardo group with the guys in the shop, it was alarming to her.
Okay, maybe I'll have my Freecom like dual hooked up so we can have our Freecoms back and forth. Maybe.
So like that's important because that's going to make that trip go by a lot smoother and a lot faster too.
Yeah.
So aside from that, then we talk about like what kind of gear I'm bringing. And what kind of gear I don't know. I assume like everywhere else in the United States right now, it's 100 degrees.
Yeah.
Okay. Because that's from fucking Seattle down. It's all 100 degrees. Like we just exist in that world now. So I'm not bringing heavy shit. I'm hopefully going to have my rain suit to go with me so that I can pack even lighter. Because originally I was going to wear my, the Revit, I've got the off-track jacket and pants that I have here with me today, and it's more of like a late summer through like midwinter kind of gear.
Yeah.
It's not comfortable in heat. Found that out in South Dakota too. So then I was like, well, I'll just wear my dirt gear and then put the other gear, and I'm like, no, because that's me going like, I'll just bring it all. I'll bring all my rain gear. I'll bring 14 gloves. I'll bring 3 different jackets in case one fucks up. So then I'm just like, okay, hopefully I can get the rain oversuit, and then just bring my dirt gear, be comfortable, and not have to pack it, and then not have to pack my inner layer, which is rain resistant. I don't think we're gonna have temperature issues up there.
Probably just rain.
Yeah,
like,
it might be. Yeah, it might be rain. It's gonna be hot, so we don't have to worry about that. Sometimes you have to think about where you're going. Even in South Dakota. When we started the day, it was 100 degrees down at the base of Black Hills. And then we got up to the Lookout, which is the tallest point in Wyoming in that mountain range. It was like 15 degrees cooler. So like going just from one place to another or changing elevation can change. So like bringing a layer, like if your jacket has a thermal layer or if you got base layers,
yeah,
that's important to bring.
Now, I will say,
Once again, though, you don't need to bring it. Just do the due diligence to check out to see what the weather's gonna be like. Because my my initial like knee jerk reaction is to just put it in my stuff, and then I go, oh, I didn't fucking need that.
now when it gets colder, I will throw my Under Armour because I won't usually start off with my top layer, just the bottom layer, but I'll throw it in the backpack or in whatever bag I have on the bike. Because I after I get a certain point, it's like you're just cold,
No, you
and you just want to block that wind.
Y'all don't know, man. We have a
Don't tell me
it's a
I
daily.
don't know.
It's a no. They don't know.
Oh,
they
gotcha.
don't know. It's a daily struggle with the HVAC system in this shop.
Yes, it is.
Because this motherfucker over here keeps it at 75, and that is the temperature of the water that you want to take a dip in at the end of a day, not the temperature that you just want to be all day.
I'm in that weird category where like my average body temp is like 1,000,000 degrees, but I always feel cold when like the wind is blowing. And
I'm not surprised.
we're always fighting with the temperature.
I'm not surprised that you bring a base layer. I generally don't ever use like the thermal layers and whatnot. There's been a few trips in a few years, like back when we had snowpocalypse here.
Yes.
It got down to like 10 degrees, and at that point, I had the FZ, and I had a tail bag, and I had my Technic jacket. There was a company that existed once upon a time that no longer exists, and it was 10 degrees, and that jacket failed, and the little thin liner was the only thing keeping basically negative 15 degrees off of my chest. That's the only time I've ever really worn is through the 2 snowstorms. But generally speaking, I'm just like, fuck it. I've got freeze outs, like the underlayer that I'll sometimes wear during like winter months, and I'll probably have to get a new pair now that I am a much more rotund human being than I was back when I had the FC. So I don't think that I'll fit that. But those are some things to consider. Is like if the climate's going to be different where you're going or through the trip. I mean, for fuck's sake, the climate is different from my house to the shop.
That's true. Well, also you live in a place where there's a lot of concrete. I don't think people take that into consideration. Where like if you're going through a city, concrete holds all kinds of heat throughout the day. So like getting into the night,
bro, I just live in a parking lot, man. It's like, oh hey, here's the sun's been beating on this blacktop for the last 16 hours. Good luck.
It's like we don't live somewhere that's like super like built up, but I can notice a change from when I go probably like 30 minutes northwest.
Yeah.
And like getting out to like Brushy Mountain Road and whatnot. It's like, yeah.
Well, here's a question, because I don't know this about. We haven't had this discussion either. Have you done it? Well, we kind of had this discussion. You've done a group ride. Have you ever done like a trip with like a motorcycle trip with, well, one in general, but two with like a few people?
Solo, yes. With people, no. The only group rides that I've taken or I've been a part of, I guess here at the shop, Chase and I went out that one day, and then I got to participate in the last Rolling Thunder. So, but by the time that my uncle and everybody rolled out, it was like a free for all, and it was just like mass chaos. People weren't happy with this. Like people were like on the side of the road cheering. It was like, just please go. I want to get across the street now.
Yeah, there's big group rides like that. I don't count those.
Yeah.
Well, like actual trips, I've done a long day of riding with people, but I've never done a trip where we have a goal in mind.
And see, that same trip where I got to go up to DC, I rode from my parents' house all the way up to Maryland. So that's about a 3 or 4 hour trip. I stopped halfway to see my brother. But that was a trip where I had a huge backpack on my back, and it was just like, I mean, I had the sternum straps. It's actually a hiking backpack or a camping backpack.
You're not going to convince me that that's the way to go.
No, I'm saying it wasn't the way to go.
Good.
A friend of mine went up in a truck, and I gave him all my stuff, and then as he left, and I was thinking like, man, I need that. I need all these things. I was like, daggone it. And I didn't.
Ghost, real quick. How many people are going to have like a tour pack of some sort on their bike that we know of? Because I'll have my luggage. The ST's got its hard bags. I assume you have luggage, right, bud?
Yeah, I got side cases and a tail bag and all that.
Side cases and a tail bag.
Full dad mode.
Yeah, full dad mode. I love it. I assume that some other people are gonna have I think I saw that somebody's riding up with a tail bag.
I want to say Yanto has a tank bag.
Yeah. So, this is something that I've seen. So I watch a lot of, like I said, moto camping type videos and a lot of ADV specific. What is it? Big Rock Moto. Ian from Big Rock Moto did a video talking about sharing the load, and I was like, I don't want people touching my stuff. But now I was like, now I see the benefit of it because your bags are going to be pretty empty. So if we stop at a gas station and get snacks or something, we can all kind of divvy up, the load for people. I've seen several videos talking about we've got 6 liters of water. Let's put 3 liters in your bag, 3 liters in my bag, and then disperse the weight and the energy that is required to keep. You got to keep the bikes even. You got to keep them not overpacked. I don't want to put 100 pounds on the back of my bike.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a good instance. All your shit's going to be chauffeured up because you're fucking special. And so your vehicle is going to have less shit in it on the bags than mine will.
Yes.
So that's another good point. If you're riding with people, that can make it a lot easier.
Are you telling me that you want to put your Bucky shoes in my saddlebags?
I'm just saying, if I don't have room in the side bags.
I got you, bud.
So
I'm not gonna let you be out there.
Are we still doing Coast the stop at Bucky's?
That's the plan.
That's
Meet up
the plan.
with Goody.
We can't not.
Yeah, we can't not do that.
We have to now.
Yeah, we have to now because I don't know if you guys can see this. Hold on, and for the people listening, I'm just sorry. I'm sorry. These things are ragged as fuck. It is time for new ones. And I also love going into Buc-ee's wearing a Buc-ee's onesie, so that's going to happen.
What was it you got asked? Where it's do you work here or do you do birthday parties?
No,
do you do bar mitzvahs?
The kid just saw me because I walked up and I picked up the drinks out of the thing. I was wearing the Buc-ee's onesie. And he's like, do you work here? No, first he said, I like your fit. And I was like, okay, cool. And he's like, do you work here? And I was like, nope. That's actually hilarious.
Can I just say I wanted a onesie before working here? There's a channel called Nate and Care, and they go all across the United States in their van. But they stopped and they got a onesie. And then Andrea looks at me, she's like, you got to get one. It's like, no, I don't. And I start thinking about it. I was like, yeah, I do.
You 100%
I do got to get
that
one.
Buc-ee's onesie is comfortable as fuck, too. Do you watch a lot of the van camping kind of stuff?
Yes.
So, how much crossover do you think there is in the motorcycle world?
I think, or with van camping, kind of some crossover. You have to think about where you're going to stop, how you're going to do certain things like washing clothes or go to the restroom, certain things like that.
Okay, so basically I just want you to give me some tips to convince my wife that a van plan is out of the question. That's what I'm getting at.
You're going to go to the bathroom in some places you're not going to feel comfortable with. I feel like you tell anybody that.
I'm not going to go into great detail, but there was a toilet on our trip that, I mean, it was like 7th level hell. And I was like, oh, that's just what you have to do. I would rather have violent diarrhea in the middle of a supermarket than have to use that outhouse ever again.
Let's try to curb this back. Yeah, there is some crossover. I think there's more crossover with through hikers for the AT, because you just talked about sharing the load.
Yeah.
And my brother is big into hiking.
Oh, is he?
And that's something that he was telling me it's you do try to disperse the load, because it's just if you're carrying all of this, all the food, there's just that might be more heavy than
can you imagine carrying 8 to 10 liters of water?
Yeah. Especially if you're not in a place where you don't have good, clean water.
It's interesting that you say that, because when I was talking to the guys at RAI and Miranda and them, they were interested in what we do as a content creator, but also the idea of moto camping and stuff, and how many crossovers that there is between the backpacking community and moto camping, and it's like the only thing that we do is the weight of what you're taking is less important than the space that it takes up.
Yeah.
Because you can carry a lot more on a bike than you can on your back, unless you're just like hulked out. But there is a lot of crossover. I find that fascinating. So a lot of the trips I did a lot of camping when I was younger, like much younger. But I mean, things have changed so much, and it's just one of the things you don't do it. You get so accustomed to like the fanciness and the comforts of like hotels and stuff that like going into this, I am fully prepared to absolutely hate my life at least for one of those nights. I just know. I know who I am. I know what kind of person I am. I'm going to wake up drenched in sweat. I at 100% know that I'm going to wake up and be like, I made a mistake.
So we should expect you around
You're going to be hearing this. Like, guys, can I come inside now? It's really hot out here.
Special sleep on the floor rates still available.
Oh, I didn't even think about that.
Oh, you get to come inside and you get to sleep inside, but you have to sleep next to Bonnie.
Oh, I'll sleep next to Bonnie.
Bonnie does not sleep.
Bro.
No. If you're down on the floor, she's going to lick you in the face.
Bro, I sleep with an antelope dog.
Okay, true.
Like Victor is like 70, 80 pounds, and he's got legs that are 17 feet long, and he's got that sharp little snoot, and he'll come digging. So that was another thing I was thinking about, because I was like, oh, wouldn't it be cool to go like motorcycle camping and bring the wife, and go somewhere that's not like super technical to get to, you know, a nice chill little ride, just go up and whatnot. But then I was like, oh man, the dogs wouldn't be able to come, so we'd have to figure that. And then I was like, well, she doesn't like being on a motorcycle, so that kind of kills that dream right now. So I was like, well, what if he just drives up? And then I was like, being in a tent with a fucking neurotic pug and a so, night trimmer Malinois just like jabbing his little dagger feet in my back. I was like, oh, bro.
Do you think you could share, like, if taking Victor and Gordon out of the situation, do you think you could share a tent with Marley for a night?
I could share a tent with pretty much fucking anybody, dude. I have no problem sleeping around people. I feel bad for them because I am a heavy snorer.
See, here's the weird thing. It's just like, I really got to trust you to share a room or a tent with you.
You're going to have to get over that. If we ever go to a press event together, it's not like we're getting separate rooms, bud.
I mean, I trust you. I don't think I'm going to, like, wake up and then...
I'm not going to be, like, hovering over you going...
I was thinking more of, like, wake up to you, like, destroying the bathroom. Let's be realistic here.
No, that's going to happen regardless. That's also one of my only qualms about, like... Here's another essential tool.
Yes.
Bring toilet paper and Pepto.
You know what? Also, seat covers. You can buy those on Amazon.
No,
like, that's something that I don't travel without now.
No, I just raw dog that shit.
No, heck,
just
no.
Being in those bathrooms, you're already exposed. Just fucking sit down. Like, that's the thing. You give it a little wipe, and you're like, okay, those seat covers
See,
only
you're
do
taking away people's hope.
Nah, those seat covers don't do anything. If you're close enough that you like, nah, it's not gonna matter. You already got it on you.
Okay. You can also buy little like spritz bottles of like disinfectants. I'm just saying. That's also an option.
I mean, yeah, or you could just sit your ass down.
No.
So like, that's the kind of person I am, where I don't think about those things. I'm like, I'm not worried about that shit. What I am worried about is accidentally shitting myself on a motorcycle because I have IBS.
That is not something. Throwing up in a helmet. Now that
is not
has been
fun.
Something.
It is not fun. Fun fact. Was one of my biggest fears on riding. I ride in Atlanta. Traffic sucks. I was more afraid of throwing up in my helmet.
Now, is that because of heat exhaustion, which is also something to take in consideration?
No. I think I was just sick.
Okay.
But yeah, I hit a big fear, and then finally, like one day, I pulled up to a stoplight, and because I left work and I wasn't feeling good, and I sat there at the stoplight, and I was like, it's just not feeling good, and then I just go. And in my head, the reason I'm so scared of it is because it, like, Family Guy moment, just like fills the helmet. But what really happened was I threw up and it all came out the bottom of it. And then I looked to my right, and the young lady in the car next to me, she looked horrified. So, like, that's going in my kit. It's like Pepto-Bismol and stuff like that. But sharing a tent, sharing sleeping space, I don't give a shit. Like I said, I feel worse for other people because I'm a heavy snorer, and Doodle will attest to that if you ever talk to her. I had to give her a spare set of loops that we ordered that we did because like we were in a tin box.
So that's where my spare pair, or that's where my pair of loops went to. Okay, if it's for Doodle, I can live with that.
We were in Mojave, and then we were sleeping in these fucking tin boxes, and I warned her. I was like, "Hey, I snore. Just if I'm overly full or overly tired, I will snore real bad." She's like, "That's all right." The next morning, she's like, "Oh, you snore." And I was like, she's like, "I don't know what I'm going to do about it. I didn't get any sleep." But I was like, "I got you covered." And so I was like, maybe if I share a tent, I'll bring some loops with people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean,
that's considered.
What you say? You don't like sharing a sleeping space? I mean, like with Andrea, it's different because
Yeah, but like I can count the list probably on like one hand. It's like all of my cousins, my brother, and Andrea.
Like at the same time.
Yeah, actually, yes. We've all crashed in Grandma's living room before. That's a thing.
I would also say it's like you have to have the appropriate equipment because like 2 people sleeping in my tent, that's not going to work.
Yeah.
But like, have you seen the Lone Rider ADV tent?
If
the
I could tell you how many times
tent.
Andrea has brought that up and say, "I need that."
The moto tent, the one with
yes.
the garage?
Yes.
Oh, it's huge. And it weighs like 12 pounds or something like that. It's ginormous. But there's a young gentleman. I don't remember his name. His videos keep popping up. I think I just subscribed the other day because he does these ASMR moto camping videos.
Mm-hmm.
They're wonderfully shot, and the sound is great. He's on a Triumph Scrambler, and he goes out and he has the Lone Rider moto tent, the big one with the garage, and I'm just like, I fucking want that. I don't have nearly enough stuff to put in that. Marley doesn't ride with me. She doesn't ride on her motorcycle, and she doesn't ride on the back of the motorcycle. She hasn't since my buddy Paul passed away. She wanted to get her license, but she has CP, so like, and she's ambulatory. She's had surgeries to help her, be able to walk and whatnot. But she has joint issues, and putting that much weight on a foot or a knee, her knee will pop out in a second. So it's like, it's just not safe, and she doesn't feel comfortable.
Now,
and,
if
and
you
that
guys had a
changed.
raised air mattress, could it be more of a possibility?
I don't think I can get her on the bike.
Oh, well, I was thinking more of like having her drive to meet you there.
Oh yeah. I don't think the sleeping situation would bother her. We've actually camped out. Like I used to fill in drums for like random bands. Mm-hmm. Like if their drummer couldn't make it. I had one guy, his okay, so Chase is calling me.
He wants to add in that, or something went wrong. We're in trouble.
You're on speakerphone, so don't say anything weird.
They're in trouble.
Bro, how are you going to sit here and say that you've seen this guy's videos who has great audio and not know it's our boy Motofields? That's his second channel.
That's his second channel? It has his, I think it has his real name on it or something like that.
No, it's his real name.
Okay, that's why I didn't recognize it. No, I didn't recognize it because I was like, who the hell is this random named? It's just, how many channels there's just, that's my name.
Okay, yeah, no, it's fair. It's fair. I'm just saying, I gotta give a shout out. Motofields, shout out, new channel.
New channel is, I did not know that was his channel. So that, yeah, his stuff is great.
Okay, also, hi everybody, love you, sorry, see you next week. Okay, bye, I'm gonna go back watching the show now.
Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
I just got to point out one thing.
What's that?
We did mess up, but we didn't remember the name. Well, I don't know who this person is in general. I will go look you up now.
Yeah.
But Chase was so enticed by the conversation, he felt compelled to call in to be a part of the conversation.
Weird. I didn't know that it was a second channel. I've only seen a couple of 2 of them, so I really wasn't paying. I was just like kind of, what I do when I go home is if I'm not playing games, I'm usually like working on something, to do with like maybe a video or something like that.
Yeah.
And so I'll have stuff playing in the background, like on my second screen, and I put on those videos, and I just like the visual of it is nice if I see it, but the sound design is so good. But he has that big moto cam.
And what's the name of this again? Motofields?
Motofields, yeah. It's his second channel. It's in his real name. That's why I didn't recognize it.
Gotcha. I'll have to go look that up.
Yeah, no. Talking about how Marley. I don't. We camped out in Alabama, so I took a trip out to Alabama to
The desolate wasteland.
Yeah, don't go there for many reasons. I'll make this a real quick story. I like I said, I used to do session work and fill in for drums for shows and festivals for bands that need it. Band called and said, "Hey, we need a drummer. Can you learn our set? It's this weekend." I said yes. Blah blah blah. We go out there. We're nearing Alabama. And I was getting lost because this festival was in the middle of this giant field. And so I was at a gas station. And I pulled over and I asked the guy, "Hey, do you know where this thing is?" Marley is asleep in the passenger seat. He is on her side. The window is down. I'm going to describe this man for you. He was about 80 years old. He had no shirt on. He had a very distended belly. He had a cigarette hanging out of his mouth with like 3 inches of ash hanging off of it. He also had a gaping wound on his stomach. So as she woke up.
Not gonna lie, that kind of sounds like the western part of Virginia.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say West Virginia. The western part of Virginia.
She woke up to that. We got to where we were going, and she's camped with me. But it was like festival camping, so it wasn't like it was like whatever. This is a place for us to crash. We can get up in the morning and go. But I don't think she'd have a problem with like any of the stuff that I have picked out. I have a thinner air mattress, but you get a sleeping bag and blah blah blah. The amenities, I don't think that she would have a problem with. She's had a van plan for like years.
Yeah.
And wants to travel and stuff like that in the dumbest way an adult could possibly do, which is to get into a small space with 2 dogs and a 210-pound
Is it
husband.
ideal? No, but you can make it work.
I mean, you can make it work, but I mean, why would you want to force that? I mean, like
Some people just can't afford it, man.
I need a little bit more space than a van. I mean, that's just like, there's no other way to say it. Like, I need space that can reach out. I want to be able to I'm going to preface this. I love my wife very much. I love her. I love her more than any other human in the world. I don't know what I would do without her. But there are some times when I just want to get like, I don't want to see you right now. I just need to be in a different room, just for 5 minutes.
It just
I'll
means
come
you guys
back.
Still have your autonomy.
I'll come back. When I had COVID at the beginning of the year, she was upstairs. So I was like down in the den, and she was in the living room upstairs. So that was my little zone of quarantine. And I would just be like, I'd poke my head out, and I'd go to the bottom of the stairs and be like, "Hey, what are you doing?" Like, I love her and I miss her when she's not there, but I like those moments to miss her. So like, if I'm just staring at your face, that's why I can't do a tiny home. If I'm just staring at your face the whole time, I'm like, nah, bro, you gotta go to the top of the van.
You know what? I gotta take a tangent for a second, but that reminds me, I have taken another moto trip.
Oh yeah.
Andrea and I rode up together because it was an Airbnb situation.
I'm listening.
We couldn't have too many cars, but I threw the bike in the back of a U-Haul. We drove up and then parted our separate ways. She went to go do some exploring, and I went down the Blue Ridge Parkway. This was actually before we started dating, but it was like I understand in that time I missed her because it was just like is she okay? Like we're gonna have dinner soon. Like I wonder what she's doing. So it's like the getting back and whatnot. Another good moto trip situation where I didn't have a whole lot of stuff on my back. I
don't think I've ever taken a moto trip. I just wanted to show people. We got a video that's going to be coming out on this. This is the Kriega OS system. So this is like one of them. This literally, have you felt this?
No, I have not. Okay, besides just feeling that quality, that's not as heavy as I thought it was going to be.
So I went from like putting everything in it.
It kind of feels like suede, like it has that tack to it, but it feels
it's actually
like a thicker
Hypalon.
kind of. It's a what?
It's a Hypalon corridor mix.
Why are you cussing at me?
You'll see that in the video on it. Yeah. So I've never actually been on a trip where I had to have anything like that. Like that's the farthest I have gone is like a simple overnight. So I'm very excited because it's the first like actual touring that I'm going to do that I would consider touring.
Yeah.
It's a 5-hour scenic trip with friends. I'm probably going to learn a couple of lessons on how not to pack.
I mean, you're going to break a few eggs.
Because that's the thing. Like, we learned a lot of lessons going up to South Dakota and what to bring, what not to bring, what to wear, what not to wear. I imagine that it's going to do I'm going to have the same kind of feeling when I get back from this trip and going like, oh, shit, I really wish I could have one of those tiny little camping chairs.
Now, with us or with you starting to branch out and do more moto camping and moto traveling, how long do you think before you start riding to press launches? Or to events like get on ADV Fest or get on Moto Fest?
So I have decided, I don't know how I'm going to make it happen, but next year for Get On ADV Fest, I'm taking Jenny. I'm taking the old El Tigre, and I'm going up to South Dakota. I don't care how I have to do it. That is going to happen. That's my goal. There are...
if you ride in the Buc-ee's... I'm sorry to cut you off, but if you ride in the Buc-ee's onesie, do you think we could get them to sponsor that? Just all the way, just like have people just like the I saw the bow beaver, like hashtag... But continue, sorry.
Yeah, 100%. So Ghost makes a good point, and this is why I think I'm the most excited for this trip. With any of these like new ventures, there are a lot of people who do these things solo. I commend them. That's bold. Watching Itchy Boots and all of them do their traveling solo, I'm like, that's cool. But like half the fun of riding a motorcycle for me is the people that I ride with. And that like camaraderie. I think that is a huge part of what's most exciting. And as he said, learning with a good support crew before going solo. I think just if you drop the last half of that, just learn with a good support crew. Like we're gonna have a handful of people riding up, in a fairly large group, so we'll have people to lean on. And like, I assume just from talking with your lady, Ghost, that you guys do a lot of camping and shit.
Yeah, more so her.
Yeah. But I mean, like, you've been drugged to a couple of them, I can tell.
I mean, yeah, happily married.
I'm telling. So, like, you'll have some pointers that I can glean from and things like that. A lot of the stuff that I took to heart when packing for this is those videos that I watch of people saying like, don't overthink it. I'm still struggling with the overthinking it part because I am notorious for losing shit and forgetting stuff. So I'm trying to walk the line of like being over prepared, but not over packed.
Yeah.
And right now, where it sits, my bike currently has the bags on it with everything except for the clothes and the Buc-ee's onesie in it. That is how it's going to be packed.
I think that's a good motto to have. I'm going to roll it back just a couple
always
seconds.
have a Buc-ee's onesie.
Well, always have, yes, always have a Buc-ee's onesie, but be over-prepared, not overpacked, because that's a really hard thing. It's like hitting a nail on it, or not a nail on the head, was it? Walking that line? You're walking that line.
I don't know. I'm not going to try to figure out your metaphors.
No. Why you gotta make me feel
all
like,
your sayings and your metaphors and stuff?
just let me do my Uncle Iroh thing, okay?
I don't know what that is. That's what I'm talking about.
Somebody in the chat has to know who Uncle Iroh is.
Is it an anime thing?
It's not anime. It is American cartoons. Not saying that the Japanese cartoons are bad. Just the differentiation. Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Okay. I feel like is that an American?
Yeah. Not Cartoon Network. Nicktoons. Nickelodeon.
Okay.
I don't have cable network anymore.
I just feel like it had started somewhere else. Anyway, this was fun.
Would you say
I don't know how interesting it is to people, but I think it's very interesting because it's a new thing that I've started looking at into doing. Like I looked at the last 2 years of like pandemic and shit like that, and I'm like, I'm 40 years old, and I'm just now like finding myself again as an adult in a job that I like, being able to do cool shit, and really enjoying motorcycling now for the first time in years. And I was like, I want to take that train as far as I can, and like moto camping, touring, adventure riding, all kind of like walk on that same path. So I am fascinated by this stuff. I hope that the rest of you have enjoyed this. What we're gonna do now is we're gonna go back over to here. I don't know how he does this. Is it just like he clicks in it and then does whatever?
What are you talking about?
I'm
Smart touring.
Yeah, I'm gonna do this and see if this shows up. Hey, there it is. All right, so we're on our Discord. You have the 11 Two Wheels with the SmartCon stuff there. I believe there's a thread for that too as well, right, Ghost?
There is.
Yep. So that's gonna be in Nashville, Tennessee, 26th through 28th. Thank fucking God, it's coming up close.
Right around the corner.
I've been, like I said, the poor wife of mine has been putting up with a lot for me. I'm very excited. All right, we got SmartCon. Oh, man. She is a good-looking bike, I will say. She's naked as hell on that one. She ain't got no, what is that, TE1? It's fucking weird.
It's a very interesting way to describe the bike, naked as hell. Because I was like, she's not a naked bike.
Naked as hell.
Like,
Did you bring it? You know I did.
keep that thing on you.
Yes. The Smart helmet. Thinks I'm backing for SmartCon. Exactly. That was me like 2 weeks ago. And I'm just like, okay, I need these boots if I have this going on. And then maybe I'll bring no.
You need a change of clothes. You need a wardrobe.
Clean undies. That's it. SmartCon menu. Smart port. Ghost roasts, Bo's dough, love that. Chase's peanut butter and jealous.
we might bring you something back.
No, we make you suffer. If we bring an iPhone or a brick to SmartCon? It's all right. The Garmin is a lot smaller than it looks, so don't forget rain gear for SmartCon. Well, howdy there, Internet people. It's Bo again. That photo is amazing.
It's lovely.
I don't know where that came from. That's amazing. Mo, what are you packing for SmartCon? Yes! Buc-ee's, and that's it. God, no, seriously, I tested it to see if it'll fit in with all my other shit. So.
I love how we can date the photo by what hat you're wearing.
Really?
Yeah, that's Outback Motortech hat, right?
Yeah.
So it had to be after you got Outback Motortech.
That is the beginning of the video for the dyno run.
There we go.
For the 1000. Because we were outside while you poor bastards were in there with the bike screaming it at 13 grand.
I'm glad I lived through it.
Yeah.
Don't know if I want to do it again.
Yeah. No, that was a fun experience. All right, so here's the shitty part about today. Let me see if I can get this to work before we do anything. Bear with me a second, guys, because what I would like to do is go through the Discord, but that one screen doesn't work. So let me go ahead and fix that real quick, because it's one of my favorite moments. At the end of the day, we get to go through and then just laugh. And you guys are freaking mint at memeing with lightning speed and accuracy. All right. I think if I do this, it's not going to blow up. And you'll still be able to hear me. Nice. All right. So, again, we're over the Live on Two Wheels. This is the thread for today's episode. All right, what do we got? Who ordered the episode 26? It's a shit show. Let's see what we got. All right, for real, his channel is dope. Snap, 37 subs. He big time. Andy Uguni. I think he's going to be making a video of the SmartCon thing. I might make one for my own channel. I don't know. Oh, here's goes. All right, everybody can see. I want to show Yanto. There's his Instagram as well, so go for it. He also makes videos, so that's good. When your bros need a ride, you don't play that nut to butt shit. Fuck that. I'm putting my hands on your hip.
Put your hands on my hip.
I rode on the back of a guy's Sportster because my bike broke down, and his seat was like that. So I don't know if you've seen the backside of me. It's much larger than that.
You know, I knew from day one that I was not a good passenger because my dad tried to take my brother and I up and down the street, like one by one. It was just like, no, this is not for me. I can't do this.
This is today's show, the dumpster fire. Good. I can appreciate that. Yeah.
Well, we tried.
It didn't dangle. That's awesome. I love it. Yeah, I told you, you guys are quick. Oh God, an old M13 meme. That's hilarious. That's like the beginning of moto vlogging right there.
Oh my god.
That's amazing. Mordith. That's fantastic. You guys never cease to amaze me with that.
Oh, halfway to workout.
Yeah.
That wasn't too long ago. We talked about throwing up in a helmet. You were moving with that.
Bro, it was not pleasant. It was probably one of the worst feelings I've ever had.
Oh no, I had that moment where it almost happened. So I know the fear that goes on. We're just like how do I come back from this?
Yeah, same fear with sneezing inside my helmet. I'm always just like, oh, I'm going to sneeze, and then all of my insides are going to go into my visor, and then I'm going to go blind, and I'm going to fucking ride into a wall. It looked a lot like that. I'm going to be 100% honest. That's and the poor girl next to me, wherever you are, lady, on Marietta Highway 9 years ago, I'm sorry.
She still shudders at night just thinking about
I wish the internet worked in a way where I could just say, like, I could describe, like, the incident, and the internet would just put it in front of her and be like, oh, okay, he was sick. I had a stomach thing, and I was feeling sick, and I had like a fever, and I threw up, and I'm sorry.
It'll happen in your reunion.
I wonder if she thinks about it every once in a while.
Do you still think about me? I think about you.
I wonder if she just goes like, wakes up one night and is like, God damn, that guy he just stood there, and then it turned green, and he just left. Like, I wonder if she just like randomly thinks about that moment, because I think about it quite often, and I am horrified.
Yes, she probably does think about it from time to time. However, there's probably good moments that people think about as well. Like I was telling you, like I was running through the HRBT, the bridge tunnel, and that kid's hand came out his out the passenger window, and he's just like, rock on, because I was like doing 90 miles an hour past him, being a terrible influence.
Yeah. That'd be like the moment you high five him and you go, oh, I shouldn't have done that. I am so sorry for shattering your tiny little hand. Please, I know this happened 8 years ago. If you're out there, please, I'd like to apologize and buy you a new hand. So on a scale from 1 to yes, how excited are you for our trip to SmortCon?
I'm at a good 8.
A good 8.
A good 8.
That's a solid number. I'm on excited, like, fatigue right now.
Yeah.
Because I've been at a 10 for a week and a half.
So we're right. We've leveled out. We're in the middle. Because like I've been ramping up to the excitement. Because like,
I started up here and then I wear myself down.
It's like, Andrew and I haven't been enjoying Georgia so much lately. So like to get out and just be away from just everything will be nice for a little while.
Yeah, and hopefully this is the precursor to many more trips. I would like to do this more often. I'm excited for the future of like actual touring. That's what my bike is. It's an adventure touring bike. I'm very excited about the possibility of doing that. Yeah. I appreciate you guys watching. Like I said,
thanks for hanging out with us.
This goes over in perpetuity on the Live on Ontwowheels channel. So I'd be curious what you guys, you can go leave some comments over there on that video once it goes live about tips and tricks you've learned over the years for packing and camping. And if you're in the Southeast and you know some cool spots I need to go check out, leave them in the comments or go check out our Discord, because I am trying to plan some trips.
Last note, Tato Nut. It's in Biloxi, Mississippi. Can't go wrong.
I don't know what the fuck that is. I feel like you're just making it up. You do this a lot.
My fake restaurants?
You know, fake restaurants.
It's a destination.
Like, man, you gotta go to Bumblebutt, man. It's out there. And they're like, that's not a real thing. Yeah, yes. Okay, so we want to clarify real quick before we leave, because a couple people said it. We are putting a hold on our giveaways for a moment. We are ramping up to hopefully have several sponsors and kind of give you guys a lot more. We're working on that behind the scenes. So for right now, the poor fellers at Cardo have been getting a workout. So we're putting them on hold for a little while.
God save the fellers at Cardo.
Yeah. I appreciate you guys hanging out. Ghost, was it horrible?
Yeah, it was a fun conversation. It's hyping up SmortCon.
I can't describe to you how excited I am.
I'm ready too, man. It's gonna be fun.
All right, guys. That's gonna be it from us. I'm gonna go put on my ring gear because I'm gonna get shit on because the climate is different in my area than it is where the shop is.
Good juju your way, Bo.